The stage is set and the celebration is on. Blessed is the Amram family. We just increased in number, for Mom has given us a brother. He looks so cute, good looking, tender and innocent. From his looks, one could tell his future is bright. Here comes the but. We fear this such a future is achievable in such a ghetto we lived in. Do we even have the ability to keep him safe from the influence and horrible effects of thugs and destroyers of young destinies in our habitation? Though we were from the priestly lineage, our unfortunate predicament has reduced us to being counted among the minor race. We were referred to as low lives and barely had the same with the larger society. Unlike Auntie Alias, who was very influential, royal, for her father was the president of the nation. One could rate them as the first class and major in the nation, but Auntie Alias was barren. Few months later, things became very difficult and complicated for us. Mom could not stand to see her little boy suffer to death. She took a drastic decision to put him up for adoption by fate. This was the most difficult and horrible moment of our lives. I loved my brother so dearly. I couldn't just let go so easily. My love for my little brother made me to accept the change of process as I never left his side throughout the process. Luck shined on us and grace spoke for us as purpose gave it direction. My brother was adopted by Auntie Alias, daughter of the president. She provided the financial support needed for Mom to nurse the child for her. Auntie Alias took her now son and named him. Soon he grew up to a very courageous, strong and bold man, full of life. Though it hurt seeing our brother calling another mother and a stranger his family. Half bread they say is better than none. So we were okay with it. At least for the fact that he had a good life, sit among dignitaries, eat on the same table with kings and majors of the nation. He is living in freedom and above all is a figure of authority. We were like them that dream dreams. Who would have said that Mom's little faith will one day land my little brother in royalty? But here comes the odd. Though he grew in strength and might, he lacked focus and was very vulnerable to emotional distraction. He gets emotional so easily that little things get to him. He was very meek, attracted and distracted from his focus by his emotion. In the excessity of his love, he lost it in anger and killed. He became a murderer for the justice of another. The music is over. The emotional monster in him is calm. Regaining his focus, he realized the implication and consequence of his action. He fled in fear for his life. No wonder it is said, one who can't control his temper and emotion is worse than the dead, even while he lives. Because he forgets that the remedy to his action is worse than the disease itself. And when the pinch comes, he will definitely remember the old shoe. There is a saying that the wise, even in their temperamental love or hate state, bears in mind that everyone has a fault, though theirs is not written on their head. But the emotionally unstable ones, whose meeky little mind little things amuses, always rush to the fore, throwing their empty bucket in an empty well, for they always go back home empty, because they keep defaulting. James chapter 1, verse 19 to 20, which says, "Be quick to hear but slow to act, and slow to speak, for the wrath of man worketh not the righteousness of God. A child who was drew out of water, named Moses, found out the truth about his roots, rushed to the fall, but lacked the ability to control the stroke of love and hate in his heart. Applied the opposite of the Bible verse. Here comes the mystery of the one true deity who turned his fault into an history, called the I am that I am, one whose ways is not same as of men, for he hath said, I will have mercy on whom I pleases. One who turns mistake into miracles and even ministry. My brother Moses found grace in his sight. For God knew he had the right intention, but wrong application. Jehovah Ebenezer turned his mistake into a mission and gave him the ministry of reconciling his people back to him and taking them out of captivity into a land flowing with milk and honey. The hand of God was upon him. He performed wondrous and dangerous miracles and saved the Hebrew race from captivity, led his people into wilderness for the land that God has promised them. In faith, you can call me Miriam, for same by the story was I likened. Moses was a man of passion, full of love for his people, God's chosen generation, and has an unsatiable hunger for God. Again, I repeat, Moses was a man of passion, full of love for his people, God's chosen generation, and has an unsatiable hunger for God. He has an unsatiable hunger. He was God's divine mouthpiece to his people. He spoke with God face to face like a man speaks to his friend. Here comes the tragedy. He gave room for the one moving to and fro, seeking whom to devour. A broken hedge to bite. Oh, mighty man of greatness, whose rod wrought out marvelous miracles, swallowed the Egyptian magic rod in a snake form. That same rod which was stretched out divided the sea for the sake of him and of God's people. O mighty man of value, attracted by the rebellious words from the mouth of those he led, those God has chosen, forgetting that God will have mercy on whom he pleases. O destined child, drew out of water, who has made you a judge when you are not God, distracted by his emotions into striking the rock, which battered, scattered, and shattered the dreams. A little distraction destroyed the dreams of entering into the promised land. God's plan for him was terminated by his own hands. A little sleep, a little slumber, a little distraction can lead to everlasting destruction. Though the hidden range, focus on your focus. Though the sea be storming, focus on your focus. Though you have an opinion to judge with, focus on your focus. Though the wind of life blowing in a zigzag direction, distracting, focus on your focus. Talking about focus. Who is your focus? What are you looking at? Look with care, for what you keep on seeing can determine your focus, and what you look at longest can stand as the strongest for you. Many are striving to be the focus, forgetting that you must first focus on your focus. Hebrews 12 verse 2 and Psalm 121 verse 1 to become the focus. When you are not focused, you sink. Brother Peter can attest to that in Matthew 14:30. When you realize you rise, Brother David can attest to that. But when you make it your comfort zone, you stink. Brother Judas Iscariot can attest to that. Know ye not that
that the image you see creates a mental picture for you to metamorphose into. The picture you see determines the limits to which you venture into your future. Are you seeing the wind like Peter, or you are seeing the waymaker like Caleb? Are you seeing the Goliath like Israel, or you are seeing an uncircumcised Philistine like little brother David? Know ye this day that whenever you look away from your Maker, the Alpha and Omega, you become a prey to attractions that will cause distractions to lead to your destruction. Brethren, Jesus Christ our focus. Peter was focused on his focus, and he walked upon the sea. Distracted by the wind of life, he began to sink. Know ye this day, when you look at yourself, you conform and deform. But when you focus on your focus, Jesus, you transform and become the focus as light in a world of darkness. Brethren, keep looking unto Jesus, the author and finisher of our faith. Just before you lose your focus, remember Brother Moses, who looked away from his Maker and placed his focus on his people, distracted from the words of his Maker, which led to the destruction and shattered dreams. Distracted into disobedience and destroyed his dreams of entering into the promised land. Focus on your focus.